Right, okay, good question. So firstly, why do we do it together, okay? And that for me is really obvious because insight plus capability and scale is a very powerful partnership, okay? And that's what this is. So Protocol Theory's mission is to help onboard the next billion users, and we provide our partners with the insight to help them progress towards that goal. Now, Mercuryo have got the capability, the scale, the tech, the solution, and really importantly, they have the ambition to take action off the back of this research. So that's why we do it together. Secondly, what makes it important is the timing. Okay, so right now, crypto Web3 is at a pivotal moment in adoption. We have the early adopters, and now we need to transition into mainstream adoption. Okay, now to do that, we have to bring the users into the conversation. We have to give the users a voice, and that's what this research does.
And I can add that from Mercuryo's side, we always love to chat with our partners, with our crypto companies, what they want to do next. But also we figure out that it is important to have insights from the end users. And that's why together with Protocol Theory, we launched this survey and to understand what are the end users really want from us, and then to build the product for them.
See, this is what I mean. They have the ambition.
Protocol Theory showing that crypto adoption is growing in the United States, but remains uneven across income groups. What does this tell about the overall state of the market today?
Okay, so big question. I think it's reflective of some of the broader social and macroeconomic challenges. So in the US, and actually in all of the developed world right now, we are more and more experiencing the undesirable consequences of late stage capitalism, right? So broadening of inequality, the wealth gap, erosion of the middle class. And this is a really, really powerful force, right? This is a powerful underlying force. Now, if you take a stick and you throw it in the ocean, it drifts with the current, okay? And that's going to happen unless you have some kind of propulsion pushing it the other way, right? Now, Web3 and crypto, that can be the engine, right? And I think it reminds us about what we're really doing here, okay? It's not just about tech, okay? The vision is bigger than that, right? It's about a rebalancing of power and wealth. And if you want to have a meaningful decentralization, then it has to be fully inclusive.
The survey conducted by Protocol Theory highlights that more than half of high-income Americans own crypto compared to only 1 in 4 in lower-income brackets. What specific factors are driving this divide in adoption?
I think still crypto is an asset. It is being treated as an asset, and that's why high net worth, they are actually just investing in crypto. And what is really important, if we think about crypto as Rails, as a tool to solve some of the fintech hurdles, like cross-border payments, the speed of payments, the cost of the payment. So this is actually more applicable to those who earn less. And those people are actually thinking about using crypto for remittances and things where it is really useful. So, and actually we should focus more on thinking how to build the product for them so that they can engage and start using it and break the barriers that it is expensive for them now to use crypto. And ultimately they shouldn't think about crypto as itself. Should think about, yeah, I want to receive payment from someone and it is really cheap and quick. I want to split the bill and it is easy. So this is the thing, and this insight help us to navigate and to build new features, new products to engage those people.
I think that's a really good point you make. It's got me thinking, right? So when we talk about high wealth groups, this is because crypto has become mostly an instrument for investing. This is more prevalent amongst higher income groups, okay? But really, crypto is not just supposed to be about investing, right? It's also supposed to be about access to utility. And I think this is what you're saying, right? If you build the utility and you give people access, then you're gonna close the gap.
Exactly.
Yeah. wallets are easy to use or fit naturally into how they manage money? What do you see as the most pressing usability barriers that need to be solved?
There's several barriers. I'm not a tech guy, but I know that having, as a user, having multiple wallets with obscure addresses and seed phrases and multiple chains and unintuitive interfaces, this is a challenge. But I mean, decentralization is hard, right? Building anything decentralized is difficult, so it will take time. But I think what we can do today is think about how we educate people. This will really help usability, right? So at the moment, our industry, because we love tech and we're driven by tech, we want to teach everyone about the tech, right? The underlying way how the technology works. So we're talking about the what. But actually, this is great for the early adopters because they love tech, okay? They want to understand the technology. For the mainstream users, they don't want that. They don't need that. There's no other technology where understanding the underlying technology has been a prerequisite for adoption, okay? So ChatGPT, no one read a white paper on large language models, but it's reached mass adoption, right? So I think as an industry, yes, we need to fix all the technical issues. I think developers are working hard towards this goal. I think Mercuryo are helping, but ultimately, let's not just teach people about the what of the technology. It's about the why we should be using it and how to use it.
After years of exchange failures and hacks, how can infrastructure providers best build trust among US users and demonstrate long-term value?
I think that crypto, let's say, in this learning curve. So, and some fails are obvious to happen on the way. So, the idea of self-custodial wallets, that you are in control of your money, helps a lot to prevent things like one point of failure with exchange or other solution. So, but getting back, it is for people, for the end users, it is really important not to think about, okay, it's self-custody, I own money. It should be for them easy to use. They should have a wallet that they understand somewhere in the back of their mind, okay, it is more safe. But in the end of the day, it should be the same easy to use it as a banking app or centralized crypto app. So, and this is what we are working inside Mercuryo to bring this capability to easy on-ramp money, off-ramp money, to spend crypto. So this is what makes this decentralized app really close to fintechs that we are all used to.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, just to, like in terms of how to build that trust, from a consumer point of view and a behavior point of view, it's often the attitude. We think it's attitude first and then behavior, so trust and then behavior. Actually, it's not. It's the other way around. Behavior precedes perception. So if we think back to mobile banking, right? There was a time when no one here and no one in the world would have done anything with money, finance, banking on their mobile phone. We didn't trust it. And then what did the banks do? They put it in our hands, they made it accessible, and they had a clear relative advantage to it. So we started using it. As we used it, then we developed trust. So the roadmap actually in the research we've just published sets out, you need to make it observable, trialable, simplify it, make it compatible, and make the relative advantage clear, okay? That's what mobile banking did, that achieved mass adoption. This is the same roadmap now for crypto and Web3 wallets.
Yeah, and the last question for Petr, but also for the great looking ahead, what combination of improvements in technology, regulation, and partnerships will be needed to bring adoption in the United States from niche level over to mainstream?
It's a great question, and we are all thinking about this. I think that it is always a combination of compliance with the product. So ultimately, compliant, best user experience. And if we can bring it to Web3, then we can start onboarding a user who doesn't think about crypto itself, doesn't think about the difficulty of having crypto. And there are a lot of small steps that we can do, for example, for making onboarding easier. For example, if you just have your first non-custodial wallet, you shouldn't be asked questions like, okay, are you ready to lose all the money if you lose your seed phrase? If you send to the wrong address, you will lose all the money there. educating people that to have really fast, quick on default onboarding where you have a basic, predefined things. And then if you want to have enhanced settings, then you can go and choose. Yeah, I want to have my seed phrase, I want to have something else there. So, but ultimately at the first touch, you don't need that. And with the first payment, just click Apple Pay and get your first crypto. So I think that this what we are building in Mercuryo and how we see it in the future, and this is our strategy to move forward.
Yeah, it's great points there. Only a little bit to add to that. Like you mentioned regulation and what regulation has to do to drive adoption. Actually, our research shows that regulation doesn't drive adoption. For institutions, I know. Institutions need the regulation because otherwise it's too risky. They need the regulation, they need that clarity. Users do not need regulation, okay? It doesn't matter how well regulated something is. If you don't want it, you don't care about the regulation. So the examples of this are, take India, take China, where we've had hostile crypto regulations. Adoption of crypto is still outpacing, say, Japan, where they've had very, very clear regulations, okay? Crypto users, they care about regulation after they've got it. They want to know that their funds are safe, okay? So it's not a driver of demand. Regulation is an enabler. And the other point you made around partnerships, this is something I've been wrestling with because I think about it as an industry, we are gravitating towards partnerships with traditional financial institutions. For obvious reasons, they bring trust into the equation, but the deeper that those partnerships get, the more centralized crypto becomes, and the more we are in danger of being that stick in the current and just conforming to those broader macro trends. So this is where, again, we need to remind ourselves it's decentralization that we need, right? And that comes, I think, from partnerships within the industry. So like partnering with Mercuryo, for example, and their expertise on on-ramping is how I see the partnerships playing out.